All right, folks, the first step to storing a car or any fuel for an extended period of time is no ethanol added. Okay, it's 91 octane premium. The second component is to add a fuel stabilizer. They do the same and similar things. No alcohol, so no water absorption. This one keeps the fuel fresh up to 24 months. It means it doesn't varnish. You put about, I think it is 2.5 gallons of fuel, gives you an ounce of Stabil. This stuff's pretty easy to use, as you can see. Just squirt it up there. And there we have, we'll flip it around. Sorry, it's a little windy today. Gets like that. So we have an ounce, actually a little more than an ounce. So that's for 2.5 gallons. 2.5 gallons. Two and a half gallons. Two and a half gallons. All right, so we're good. And I'm not going to bore you with pumping the fuel, but that's what you do. Put the fuel stabilizer in. Go ahead and mix it with your non-alcohol fuel. You're good to go for a year or more. Well, this is a continuation of what I do to get a car prepared for storage. Now, as you can see, this 2009 335i, which is a E92, that's Echo 92 Coupe. It has an N64 3-liter twin turbocharged gasoline engine. It's been modified with a juice box or a Juliet Bravo, a JB tune. Weighs about 3,100 pounds if memory serves me right. This one has around 60-some thousand miles. Because of the tune, it's had a tune on the transmission, which is, I believe, a ZF Foxtrot 6 HP. It's a 6-speed. It's had a tune on the tranny, and it's had a tune on the engine. Probably puts out about 450 horsepower. Runs water meth. But I thought I'd give you a little bit of background on the car because, hey, I'm a car guy. And this is a beautiful specimen. Never been wrecked, no repairs in terms of body work. It runs great. Interior is gorgeous. There's a little bit of wear somewhere over here. Yeah, right there on the leather. But that's about it. It runs great otherwise. It's very fast. It is not a slick top, sadly. I don't know if they made any slick tops for the US. But today we're talking about how do you get this car ready for storage. Well, it's simple. Change the oil. Okay. We've already done the fuel. We did the fuel on the Audi out there, but this car's already had the same treatment. Put unleaded fuel in it, including Stabil. Just do it. Don't argue with it. Don't say, oh, it's not necessary. The car may be in storage for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and bad fuel destroys fuel injection systems. And if you've ever run a BMW, it's not something you want to have to replace or fix or hassle with. These cars are unfortunately very expensive. But if you like high-performance cars that are cool and run well, you can't do any better than the BMW or the Audi or Mercedes. So the next key to getting a car ready is make sure all the edibles are out of the car. Don't go, oh, it's just a sealed bag of trail mix. That's nuts. Trust me, if an animal gets in there, and it'll eat that stuff. Get a drop cloth. One of these little wimpy, well, this is 1 mil, 10 by 20. You can cover up the car when it's in the container. Now realize, when I cover up the car, I put the plastic over, and then I slide the plastic between the glass and the frame of the car, and what it does is it keeps the plastic from rolling off or blowing off. Always a nice thing to do. One thing you don't want to do, and that's a don't, is use dish soap to clean it. Oh, it'll clean it. It'll also rip the coating off the car. I mean, if you waxed it, this stuff will rip it right off. Now, if you're a small little waterfowl and the Exxon Valdez has spilled oil and you're dying, well, Dawn's a great soap for cleaning up wildlife, but not for cars. So get a car wash soap that's intended for cars. I also go over the top and I use this to take the brake dust off the car wheels. Get 2 buckets. One is going to be your soap and water, and one is going to be your rinse. It's a 2-bucket system. It's popularized, I think, it's first out of California. Get one of these great little mitts and use it. I use rubber gloves, but I have very delicate hands. And then get a microfiber drying cloth because you'll want to sweep all of the water off. The next thing with regards to water is don't wash a car in the sun. Obviously, some people don't have a choice. Then do it late in the evening or early in the morning, but you don't want to wash a hot car that's been in the sun with water on it. It's a terrible idea, especially if you have water that has mineral deposits. You'll end up with these mineral deposits all over the surface. And as my friend Ruben says at the wonderful detailing shop that I go to, Endless Detailing in Franklin, Wisconsin, Endless Detailing. Can't tell you enough. He did a paint correction on this car a few years back, and it looks gorgeous. As he always says, water spots, the calcium deposits just ruin the paint. And from his perspective as a car detailer, it does terrible damage to trying to correct it. And realize you've only got so much clear coat on a car, and when they do a paint correction or do a polish, that clear coat just gets cut off. It's shaved off all the time. The more you have, the better the car will do. So that's the bottom line. I'm trying to think that's it. So I haven't inflated the tires yet. I've got the tire inflator over there. I'll get them up to spec. Like I've mentioned before, I just put these radial tires at regular operating pressure. They're not bias ply. Bias ply can definitely get a flat spot. I haven't had any radials get a flat spot, but the most I've had a car in storage is about a year. Haven't had any trouble. So these are my little tips. If you want to have a successful, painless, fruitful time storing a car, just follow these few simple tips. The extra hour and a half you spend getting it ready for storage will pay you dividends, because then you don't have to do the paint. You don't have to get rid of all the dirt. If you take all the food out of the car, then you don't have to deal with animals being sucked into the vehicle and wiring being chewed. If you treat the fuel like it's important, and it is, then you'll end up with a car that starts, doesn't have any problems. You don't have to take it to the shop. Wash it carefully, rinse it, dry it off with your microfiber towel. Some people who have large compressors will actually use a air sprayer and spray the water off. My air compressor doesn't put out enough power. One other suggestion is to use a garden tool, a blower. Just take the blower and just blow all the water off. It's much faster than this. I haven't gotten to that point. It's quick. Do wear hearing protection when you do it because it's louder than bejesus. So that's how I handle the preparation for storing a car. Get it clean, get it fueled properly with fuel that can last 12, 24 months. Change the oil so that you don't have a bunch of old, nasty, acid-filled, funky oil that's eating away at the engine while it's sitting there month after month. Get all the food out, use the proper solutions, cover it up with very thin plastic, securing it everywhere you can so that it doesn't blow off. So if you neglect the car for a couple of months, you go somewhere, you're not sitting there coming back watching the plastic having peeled off halfway, and now you've got deposits of something on the paint. You don't want your cars that are in storage to be barn finds. Yeah, barn finds are cool, but boy, they take money, time, and energy. And the most car people love to just drive their cars. Some people like to work on them. Don't get me wrong, I work on cars. But you don't want to spend your time having to fix problems that could have easily been prevented by a little thought, a little preparation. So that's about it. This car and the Audi are going to be stored away for the next couple of months. Got some other cars coming out that you've seen before. And we're just going to cycle them through, get them serviced, drive them for a while, store them. Get them serviced, drive them for a while, store them. Someday I'll have a pole barn and I won't have to go through this problem. But pole barns do have their own problems. Pole barns allow rodents and nasty little beasts to come in. And you've got to be checking those cars every day to make sure something hasn't taken up a home in one of these vehicles. Nice thing about containers is they stop the beasts from coming into your car. So it's a wonderful day. It's about 75 degrees. The wind's gently coming out of the southwest. It's not very humid. Oh, it is so nice. It is such a nice day to do stuff. I've been cleaning out all the cardboard. I have sacrificial cardboard on the floor because one thing I don't want, I'm going off on a tangent here, not unusual, is a bunch of oil and grease staining the floor. It's going to get dirty anyway. That's just the way it is. But I have a friend who brings me cardboard, and I use it to sacrifice for stopping oil and grease on the floor. It's nice. You can be working on a car, suddenly have something drain on the floor, and you're not trying to clean it up because it's on the cardboard. So I love you all. I hope you're having a great time. Hope this video helps someone who loves their car protect their car. And it's never too late to stop doing it on a car. Even if a car has been sort of semi-neglected, you can stop the process the day you start owning the car. Love y'all. Take care. Bye-bye. Well, I just realized I said make sure you put unleaded fuel in. Duh. I'm sure you could get leaded fuel, but I'm not sure why anyone would put leaded fuel in a car that has an O2 sensor and a catalytic converter, but to each his own. I meant alcohol-free unleaded fuel. Alcohol-free. Alcohol absorbs water. Water is bad. Water and fuel is bad. Gets into these systems, the fuel tank, everything else. Very corrosive. Alcohol is terrible on engines. So just realize, alcohol-free fuel. Unleaded. With stabilizer. Sorry for that goof. God, I hope somebody doesn't rip me a new rear end. Bye.